everyone join us today. We are doing our winter 2023 draft tonight. The GMs are just getting ready to get into talk from Habibi and Zoo just on the rules and how the draft is going to be going. I see Arif is already in the chat, but we do have two special guests joining me today for the podcast. Say salam to Zaid Maju and Umar Baksh. Salam, guys.
Salam, boys. Assalamualaikum.
How's it going?
It's going.
Good, alhamdulillah.
I see Baksh is loading up on his Tim's caffeine, and he's ready to
It has
go
no caffeine. Nothing. Water.
Oh boy, well we're gonna have to see
It's
how that
nothing.
goes.
It's placement. Yeah.
It's some juice.
Not an ad. Hashtag not ad.
Well, it's going to be an interesting night. There are a lot of new faces in the draft this season, both in the GM group as well as the player pool. So it's going to be interesting to see what the strategies are for the various people and teams. I'm sure you guys have a few ideas and thoughts out there. Maybe we could start talking a little bit about the GM trios and kind of who's out there, what are they going to be looking for, and what's the game plan for them?
Okay.
You want to lead it off for the first one?
Do you want to talk about Suburb?
Let's go.
All right. Who is Suburb?
So, for Suburb, we have Farouk Sani, Mohammed Ali Kasantini, and Maz Haq, rounding out the show.
Welcome back, Maz. Time to
So-
turn it up.
We have all of them are forwards. We know them well. They are very much a high energy, high firepower team. I think their strategy is going to be looking for some D-men. And well, again, every other team except for one team is looking for a goaltender. But it's going to be interesting to see how the D get picked throughout this draft.
So you know what? Maz is their center. That's number one center right there. Casantini actually is the center too. So I think it'll really be interesting to see how those guys interact with each other. I don't think they play with each other today. This is like a random group that was kind of thrown together.
Mm-hmm.
So Sani can do anything forward defense, but Zoo, stop eating the pizza, please.
But I think we've been told and we know that Sani doesn't want to play defense. He's made that abundantly clear, although he's stepped up and played when he's needed to. So that's going to be an interesting show and turn up.
I think
one of the interesting things to note here is that the GMs from the team are not going to be available. All three GMs are not available tonight. So it's
one is in Australia.
Yeah, Sani's traveling, and I think Maz and Casantini are just not available. So what's going to end up happening is Arif Khan, our very own from the podcast, and that's why he's not here tonight, is going to be helping draft that team. And then you say, okay, well, if he's helping draft that team, what happens if another team picks him up? So really, what happens is he's going to draft for the team, and he's going to be guaranteed to go as their second round pick. Which is fair given the talent pool involved here. So the GMs are all aware of this. The OC is all aware of this. So just something to keep in mind that we do know where one of the players is going already.
Amazing. That's funny.
Oh, and we have Rob Ford in the chat, in our YouTube chat. So welcome, Rob Ford.
We even have the dead coming to join us on this podcast. We're that popular.
Let's just move on to the second team.
Please.
Yakin. This is the welcome back to T
Park Boys.
The Jogiats, Yusuf Mem, Hamza Jogiat, Yusuf Mehman, and Abrar Desai. Abrar Desai is new. I don't think he's played here before, is he?
No, I think he signed up one season, but wasn't able to make the commitment. But we all know Hamza Jogiat, who was the MVP of the playoffs the last time he played when he won the championship with his team. Yusuf Mehman centered that line. And Abrar Desai, again, not a well-known guy in the draft today, but he does play on the T Park Knights, on the T Park teams in YCVHL. Definitely at the center. Definitely a skilled player, and rightfully so to be the GM for T Park.
Welcome to the league, Abrar. We're looking forward to seeing how you do. Okay, since we are like T Park guys, I call them T Park guys. So what is their strategy? I mean, obviously, besides drafting the guys they know and familiar with, what's going to be key for them? They played the season year before.
Yeah, I think they're drafting like Suburb did last season. They're going for speed. Their T Park is built around speed. They have a few of their boys in the draft, and we know that there's a lot of guys that are going to be poaching players and looking for trades and whatnot. but I think they're going to be looking around speed and familiarity. They don't know everybody in the draft, but they're going to be looking at their consistent players. And I know that Hamza and Yusuf can both play D. It's not their first and foremost position, but if it really comes down to it, they can and they will. But again, look for them to be looking at drafting D-men. I think D-men, like I said,
Everyone's drafting D-men, man. Everyone's
high
drafting
commodity, high price tag to them.
Okay, sounds good. Welcome back, boys. And now we have Ikhlas.
So we have Mr. Ali Wadi returning. So welcome back. Usman Batar. And Batar. Sorry.
I believe it's not Batar. Yeah.
And Munawar.
That's something you put on toast.
No.
And Munawar Hamdani. So
Big name. I
haven't heard about him until tonight. But clearly I'm the one who's living on some other planet. But share this, enlighten us about Munawar Hamdani.
You're in Scarborough,
right?
No. I personally don't know the brother, but heard a lot of great things about him, and as a former Team Canada hockey captain, so that comes with its own set of accomplishments. So he is someone who obviously is great to be in the league, and really looking forward to getting to know him, and hopefully Wadi and Batar have a great outing with a really, really good player.
Now Ali Wadi, we've seen him play defense. We've seen him play forward. He's a multi-positional, multi-talented player.
Wadi can do anything, and I probably would think Wadi would start on defense because of his ability to do that, and
just feed Hamdani up and let him do his thing. Or do you think Hamdani might go D if they can't find somebody solid to kind of finish up that line?
I don't know nothing about this guy, but because he is the captain of Team Canada, I'm pretty sure he can play D. I'm pretty sure he can play goalie too. I'm pretty sure he can ref if he actually needs to too. So I'm sure we can figure it out with this guy.
Setting up some high expectations for them.
Oh, 100%. We need the expectations to be high so they don't reach them. No, I really look forward to this team. A lot of experience, a lot of hockey IQ. I mean, geez. We'll see how they draft, and Wadi usually drafts pretty well. But if he's not drafting his family, not okay. It's gonna be interesting to see how these guys draft. So.
A quick salams from Abdul Patel, who's in Medina right now. I think he's just starting his Umrah, mashallah. So wanted to wish him all the best. And
that's commitment, brother.
Nothing slows him down. Not his wedding, not Umrah, not grocery shopping did slow him down. I gotta say that.
He's committed to the league.
Love it.
How about our fourth GMs, group of GMs? So Iman.
So fourth to select will be Iman. We have Adam Ahmed, Junaid Alvi, and Bilal Mohiddin. So Adam Ahmed, we know, Mr. Short Shorts. I gotta call you all, bro. Like you gotta. I invest in some shorts, bro. We know nothing but love. But Junaid Alvi, my boy, one of the top forwards as well. He definitely rounds out a team well. Interesting to see if his groin and his leg is good to go. So that's always been a question for him if he's recovered from his injury. And then Bilal Mohiddin. All I know again is he's a centerman and GM caliber. That's all I've heard.
This is a young group. This is a young GM group, and I mean, there's going to be high expectations on them to perform. So I think for them, drafting is going to be super important. So Junaid Alvi knows the league. Adam Ahmed's getting to know a lot of the players in the league. So I think the key for them is going to be how can they draft and can they get people to fill in the system they want to play.
Now, do you see them?
And who's his son now? I've talked about the next team with Ali Khwaja, Dawood, and Wahib Shah.
Okay.
So Dawood Siamber, of course, well-known player, regular GM. Wahib Shah, he led the league in scoring.
Last season, goals, assists, MVP, awards,
what else
in his first season here.
Yeah.
So.
And the only goalie to round out the GM, Ali Khwaja, well-known, grade A goaltending. I know we can talk about how goaltending is always tight, but he's always one of the leaders in that goaltending category. So tough through and through. Dawood can play back and forward. Wahib's got the offensive strength. So I think I see this trio being a well-rounded unit from the get-go. It's just how they build on and how they go forward. We know both Adam Ahmed and Dawood Siamber like to stay with the players they know. So we'll see what their strategies turn out to be.
No, sorry. So the one thing I will say, sorry, I was just gonna throw this in there. Manip Shaw, leader in gold, leader in points, trigger man.
Mhm.
Dawood likes to be trigger man.
True.
They're gonna look for a passer.
Who do you think that they might go with in the first round?
I'd laugh if they pick Asa Bika.
Another trigger man.
You know what? Last season, Daoud actually surprised us with the picks he made, and they ended up being a very good team by the end of the season. So,
Yeah.
you know, it
All
wouldn't be
comes down to
surprising. Maybe
chemistry. All comes down to chemistry.
yeah, exactly. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Okay,
All right. Next, we have Haya with Akib Malik, Luke, and Sufyan Sheikh. Now, this is a trio that's been around for almost forever.
tried and tested trio.
Yep.
These guys are the Iron Mans of the league. They've been around for a long time, and they know how to play. They're all two-way players. It's going to be great for. It's going to be a good team. It's going to be a sound team. It's going to be a defensive team. They look for two-way guys all around. But I think Luke might go for some scoring. I think Luke's going to look for some snipers now. I think he might move away from the typical high hustle. So
I'm going to go against that. I think he's going to stick again to the people he knows, the people he's tried and played with, and he's liked. But again, every team has proven Luke likes to stay with the defense first mentality. But what I can definitely say is any young players that get onto Luke's team, I think Akib, Sufyan, these guys are a really good trio to be learning a lot from. To be honest, every GM here you can learn a lot from, and play close attention. And Abdulaziz, you were asking for some tips. Just talk to your GMs. Be honest, be open with them. What your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, and all of these guys will guide you to be the best player you can become.
All right, next we have Taqwa. So RC Hamza Chaudhry, who's coming back after a little bit of a break. Hopefully he's recovered from his injuries. And then Omar Hussein.
Wow, what a trio. This is the combination of youth and skill. Like really, like Omar Hussein can do everything. I mean, I played with him last season. You can play defense, he can play he can deke through the whole team if he has to. If he has players to play with them and not me on his line, he can probably, maybe get some passes in and probably create some chances. So, it'd be good to have him and if he's on the line with Hamza Chaudhry. Oh man, RC, it's going to be dangerous. It's a good trio.
We've seen RC, like you said, Omar can play back. RC, we've seen him play back as well. So it's going to be interesting. I think we might see a little bit of a change of complexion of maybe some players going up and back, but I really don't know what the draft strategy is going to be right from the get-go, especially Ali Khawaja is gone too. So that's always been kind of that Greenberg mentality of that neighborhood of players.
They're going to go with guys they're familiar with, right? That's what we know, and that's what we'll expect. The final GM trio, last but not least, is our champions from last season. Well, most of them anyways. From Rida, you have Abu Mantra, Mohamed Ghazi, and Yusuf Inger, who's coming back to the league for this season.
Go ahead, man.
Abu, great player. He finally started shooting last season, but I think he might take a step back. I hate to call you out, Abu, but I think he felt more comfortable with having Muhib out there and Bachbaya out there, that he was willing to take that extra shot. But I think he's going to keep looking for passing again unless he gets his boys. Mohamed Ghazi, again, Ghazi, what are you doing, bro? I don't know. I still haven't seen you on the score sheet. Like I'm waiting for it. I'm kidding, man. Great player. Two-way player. He's been playing forward last season, but I think he'll jump back on D again with the scarcity of D-men this season. And Yusuf Ingar, any relation to YY or?
They're all Malton boys. No, they're yeah, I believe so. But welcome back, Yusuf. It's good to have him back in the league. He had a couple years off. Again, another really, really skilled young player. GM caliber, and again, this is a different version of the Malton team.
Yeah.
But again, every year they come back with a new rotation, and I mean, I see good things again. And Manip Shaw's not on their team this time, so let's see what happens.
Well, but now they're walking. I don't know, man.
Oh, so they got another Christian. Right? Okay.
Guys, I think the draft is about starting right now. We have. So there's been a trade right before the draft started also. So you have Iman and Taqwa that have traded picks. So you have Iman trades picks 4 and 13 to Taqwa for picks 7 and 10. So that's kind of where we are. What are your thoughts on this trade? Any?
It's family trading with family. I think it's a little draft manipulation going on here. No, I'm joking. I think it's guys wanting to have certain guys on their team, and they'll trade down further in to make sure they have certain people, and RC and Autumn, these guys are all familiar with each other, so I really don't know, but I'm pretty sure they wanted somebody at fourth, and somebody was okay with maybe the person they really want. It could probably fit down at 7. So I think it's a little sportsmanship going on between the guys.
I think we actually have the first pick coming in now. So it is
the Cho.
Adil Chauhan.
Welcome to the Cho.
Any surprise here that
show
and Sani picked him?
No surprise. Sani's played with Adil many times before, and remember we talked about everyone needs defensemen. Here we go.
Yeah.
Let it go now. I guarantee you, most teams are going to have their defensemen or at least their top 4 done in the first 3 or 4 rounds because everyone.
But the other thing is that between the 3 GMs and RF, who's already, we talked about it, a predetermined pick at number 14 or number 16, sorry. They have 4 top-notch guys who can play like on the first line. So it's probably a no-brainer that they went.
I think everyone's first line would be great. So I think it's the real test in this draft is who knows where the depth's going to come from, and realistically, I think everyone knows their first line is going to be good. I think it'll come down to whose second line and third line will outperform other people's, and what happens when people are short. I think that's the big thing that always plays a factor in this league, and it's never going to be your top guys that. It's whether they're here and whether the people you don't think in the draft are great are going to come up. So let's look at the middle of the draft, and there's a lot of there's a good chunk of new faces in here that some gyms might know and some don't. So let's see what happens. I think those are going to be the ones that really we'll see in 3-4 weeks, and I think we'll be. I think
our draft is next up, and they have their pick has just come through, and they have Asim Patel.
Great picture, Awesome. I love it. great picture. Awesome. Again, T Park guy.
Expected.
We knew this was going to happen.
Black is slimming.
We knew this was going to happen, right? Great success with them last season. They played together on T Park, the Young Stars, the Knights, all of that. So
dynamic scorer.
Absolutely. OV, as AV91 calls him. I think that's Asa Variava. I don't know. Or one of the other ones, but awesome, great scorer, great hands. Sometimes tries to deke when he should shoot, but otherwise he can make goalies' lives very, very difficult. So like Bucks was saying, it's going to be a tough show all around. The first line matchups are going to be interesting to watch. Unfortunately, I think goalies might get lit up like that other winter fall season. Yeah, I am a goalie, so I'm going to say it. But hey, you know what? People have proven me wrong, and hey, I might prove myself wrong.
Here we go. Pick number 3 from Ikhlas. So Aliwadi, Munawar, and Usman. They have Rizzi.
Okay.
Rizwan Kalair. Now,
who drafted?
That was Aliwadi.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Again, family kind of keeping with the people they know. Their age just went up. Their overall age is kind of in the 30s, 40s now. But
the experience went up too.
Experience went up.
I'm surprised they didn't go for Mamu Sachobi.
Hey, there must be something happening there too. Right?
It's interesting that you said that, Buck. They went with someone who they've played with for a very, very long time, but then someone who they know for quite some time didn't come. They went with them, and is this going to come back to bite him? Because I don't know. Looking at this draft pool, and nothing against Rizwan, but he's a great player. But I don't know if you would have taken him at number 3 in this draft.
You probably wouldn't, but I mean, whether or not they want to play with their friends, whether or not they want to carpool together, whether or not there's so many factors these guys take a look at. But Rizwan Kalair is a great player, and it's just going to be, can he live up to the draft rank?
Well, he's had some challenging seasons. I think one season he was really struggling to find the back of the net. He was taking the right shots, taking the perfect high percentage shots, but just was finding the goalie's pads or their gloves. So it all depends. I think what Rizwan Kalera shows up. So we'll just have to wait and see what comes out of this.
All right, so we have our next pick, the 4th overall. And remember, this was part of the Iman Takwa trade, where they traded their two first and second round picks. So RC, Hamza, and Omar have made their first pick, and it is none other than who we were just talking about.
Mohamed Yusuf Chaudhry.
MYC.
The guy who doesn't like to smile, I tell you, I don't know how many pictures I took of him that night.
I've never talked to him. I'm pretty sure I can
He
do
doesn't
this.
smile.
Just a great player. Big, tall, strong. He's going to try to deke around a lot of players. He has a good shot right off, right off that first couple of dekes even. So it's, again, I don't know. Like, I would love to go into depth a lot of these players. We could talk about them.
Come back after.
Yeah, but it's going to be a lot of tight first picks,
I will
and then
say,
how teams develop over in the later rounds.
I think for Junaid Alvi and Adam, these guys, it's very good that they got this player to solidify their scoring.
No, it's not Alvi that got him.
Oh, who got it?
Because of the trade, it went to Arsenal.
RC, Hamza, and Omar.
Oh, even better. Now these guys are nuts on offense.
So very, very familiar with them.
That
All
is-
right, we have our 5th pick now, going to Isan. So this is the Dawood's pick that we were talking about with Mohib and Ali, and seeing if Mohib can, work his East End connections, and he got Zaki Parek.
Okay, I've heard a lot of great things about this player. I don't know him personally, but my insiders, they definitely have high praise for him, and we expect him to be a first-round pick. And actually, we were just talking about it. We were expecting Dawood or somebody to pick him up because of the Munib Shah connection.
Yeah,
Mohib
so
shots, or-
Mohib plays in the East End YCBHL. He knows about some of these players, and Zakaria Park from T Park. Wasa saying Zak's not that good, but again, he's a good player, good athleticism, can run daylights. We'll have to see if he's gonna play the dish man or if he's gonna try to shoot it as well. If he can be the setup man to Dawood and Mohib, then hey, good for him and good for the team. But if he's gonna try to take it up himself, that's gonna pose a challenge.
Great.
Yeah. Don't know much about him, so we'll let the first couple weeks do the talking. Let's see what
Great.
happens.
So we have our first pick from it is Haya, Akib Lukasuf, and it looks like it's someone they're familiar with who they've taken.
Again, we guessed this one too.
Hamoudi, yes, absolutely.
Did you guess this, or did one of the insiders pick this?
No,
I
we
think
guessed
we
this.
need a word from him, maybe.
No, the insiders went completely off the map and they went somewhere else. But
We were just talking.
we overrode that. Said Hamoudi, he's played now 3 seasons or 4 seasons together. I think 3 seasons.
They're familiar with him, and he's the prototypical player. He can do everything for them. Big body. He's going to be exactly what they want, and he's played with them a million times. So you know what? Just like everyone else in this draft, first round pick, go with who you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. He can definitely set up Sufyan too.
Who that?
First pick of the draft for Iman. So remember this, they traded down for this to get a higher second round pick for Adam, Bilal, and Junaid is Mr.
Hey, welcome back to the league. I want some mangoes. No, I'm joking.
That is a surprise. A lot of people were calling that again. Huzaifa is going to fall to the middle of the draft and maybe even go to the T Park connection. But I think Junaid Alvi might be having a bigger hand in the draft because Junaid's played with him with Huzaifa before. So it's going to be interesting to see how this works out. But definitely two-way player. He's played forward. He's played D. He plays tier 2 or tier 3, tier 2 and all around the city. But
he's a puck moving defenseman you want, and let's see. I think on a young team here, I think he'll be a voice that they'll lean on, and let's see how it goes.
Now, is he going to yak too much? That's the other question, right?
Throw up? No, he's good. He's good.
Great. And the last pick of the first round going to Rida. So you have the Malton crew, Mudra, Kazi, and Inger. Omer Isawi.
That is a little bit of a surprise to me.
No,
I would have thought that they went with somebody else, but again, we'll see what happens on the snake. But definitely that our insider was projecting, and
we had him,
talked
we had him a
about
9-10, 8-9, somewhere around there.
That's true. That is
So,
true.
He's right there. It's right there.
But definitely, he did have I think the most points last season, so he was really up there. Anyway,
We write him hard for anytime he doesn't. So he doesn't like to be picked this high because of expectations. But you know what? He picked up his game, and I think he had the most assists or tied with the most assists at the end of the season. So Asawi knows that play, and he's that defenseman and that shot from the point that they want. So obviously, like if you want that shot, you got to pick it. So now they have the snake. So there we go.
They've wanted him for a while. I know the past couple seasons, there've been a lot of rumors swirling around about them trying to acquire Asawi, but it just never quite worked out. So I guess they were not going to take a risk this time and just pick him right when they had the
Who
chance.
they get on the snake here?
We will find out. So they have Mohsen Makrod. I do not know this gentleman.
Mohsen Makrod. This is a Thorncliffe player yet again, coming from a great family of the Makrods. So Mohsen is the younger brother of oh my god, and I'm just completely spacing out. Makrod, yeah. Great player, has a shot, has speed. It's just, again, will he fit into their style of play? Gujarati connection as well, but definitely a forward. Now, is Kazi going to now drop back and play with Asawi to kind of fill out that first line, or is Kazi just going to push up and play forward and push Mohsen down to the second line? So we're going to have to wait and see.
He's definitely ahead of where I guess the pre-draft rankings had him.
Yes,
they had him I think going the next round, but
they're subjective though, and it's only put together by a couple people.
I like to throw it up there because you know what, make them pay. Make the insiders pay. Like, you prove them wrong.
We actually have Zaid Khaler up next at the 10th pick from Iman. Actually, going back to Iman this season. So he's joining Adem Ahmed, Bilal, and Junaid. Again, not a surprise there with the familiarity they have.
Familiarity, but I wonder if this is also, again, a little bit of gamesmanship to mess around with RC, Hamza Chaudhary, and
they didn't want him to go on that team. So
yeah, exactly. So, but Zaid is a great player. He's smart, young, fast. He can definitely make or break lines, but he's got the energy to really continue going on in those late minutes and pull those hard minutes for the team.
So I played with Zaid last year and even got a chance to play on his line with his line mate Bichung at the time. And Energizer Bunny. This kid can go, and to be honest with you, when he runs in a straight line, no one can probably catch him. It's just the only thing is, and I will say I was his teammate. Let's see how the defense, let's see how the defensive coverage goes. But as an offensive threat, definitely there. Sorry,
you can't cheat when he's on the floor, right? I mean, he will cherry pick and he will make you pay. I remember
not so much the cherry pick, but watch those high dunks.
Yeah, but I mean, you can take chances sometimes when you have that speed, right? Next pick we have is Asif Vikat, where, I don't know, given his performance in last season in the fall, I think he was runner-up in goals. I thought he would probably gone in the first round.
I thought he'd be a first rounder too, but great for Luke to get him.
Yeah, definitely. Asif definitely first round caliber.
Didn't we joke about this? Is like you can pick him up in the first round?
Yeah, we did. Again, it's a lot of teams are looking for D-men, right? We had a few D-men go in the first round. Now Asif, unfortunately, is that late. He dropped much further than we expected, but a great pickup. I think he had 4 hat tricks or so last season.
He's an offensive machine.
He scores in bunches when he scores. So it's always watch out for that. But keep an eye on this team, right? They're missing a D-man. Maybe Sufyan will drop back. Maybe they'll be picking a couple of D-men back to back.
All right. So Isan has the next pick at 12 overall, and they take Hassan Zaidi.
Oh, yes. The Grizzly veteran. I love this guy. Played him last season. He is, I would say, he's one of the smartest defensemen I've played with. He's a very, very smart defenseman. Nothing fancy coming out of him, not like Zoo fancy, but he's just nothing fancy, but knows how to play, knows how to grind, and is a battle horse. This guy can play the whole game. Like
Top-notch defenseman.
Oh yeah.
Well, he'll also try to get under the skin of other players. So again, that's his veteran leadership. He knows how to play the game. There's more than just being on the floor, scoring, making those passes. There's multiple layers to the game, and he knows how to play every single one of them.
So yeah, I think that's a really good pickup for Daoud and these guys to come in. I think
Have the D-man.
Oh yeah, that's
100%.
He's gonna anchor there first with and if they have an offensive defenseman there, boom, we'll see how they do.
Yeah.
We have Tukwap picking next at 13, and they took Tahir Maruf.
That is a great pick. I figured he'd go in the second round.
Interesting that they did pick up Maruf. Now they have even more forwards, so they have an overabundance right now. We're looking at centermen, RC Hamza, Tahir. Maybe Tahir might be the center.
Tahir can play D too.
He can play D. He doesn't typically like to, but again, he's one of those multifaceted
I don't care what he
players.
likes. He's gonna have to play D on this team.
Well,
He's a good two-way guy, right?
Yeah. He will step up and play. So he doesn't really care. He just does what the team wants him to do, and he's happy for it. So interesting to see, but definitely perfect pickup for them.
Yeah,
That's great.
I think it's a great team. Great for this team.
All right, we have the next pick coming up from Ikhlas at number 14, and we have any guesses, guys?
I don't know. I can cheat and look.
No cheating. No cheating.
I'm thinking D-man. I just don't know who. I would have to look at my list of
That's
D.
right here. Look.
You can
Oh,
look
there you go. I'm trying to do this legit without cheating.
Farouk Khan. Here we go.
Farouk Khan, again, I think going with that veteran leadership on the back end, great player, solid defenseman. But I think now that they did take him, we're looking at Hamdani, who's used to playing a high-level tier, but very physical. Farouk, very physical, right? This may get them into penalty trouble.
I love it. More penalties. Let's go.
So power plays are going to be key for a lot of teams. And with a lot of firepower that all the teams possess, it might just be like, the OV show that those or Stamkos pass to the wing and a one-timer. So guys, stay out of the box. This is the season where penalties will hurt you hard.
And like we said, like defensemen are going to be going fast right now, so nothing surprising here. Farouk is a really good defenseman, and
All right.
Let's see.
Next pick for Yakin with Abrar, Hamza, and Yusuf. We have Umar Mahmoud.
Boom. Another defenseman.
Another D-man. Now,
I don't know. I mean, he's been more effective as a forward lately, and I think that's his preference now.
It is, but it's not up to Umar where he plays, because he plays both, and he plays both very well. So like Tahir, we don't give him a choice, because when there's not enough defensemen in the league, then he ends up being a good defensive pickup. So again, utility. I consider him like Bergeron. To me, he's like Bergeron. He can do two-way, kind of go up and down. He does whatever you need to do.
Now, I wonder if this is the inexperience of Thorncliffe knowing the guys, right? Are they just looking at the draft sheet? Are they just saying, okay, these are the draft rankings, if they even got that, and saying, okay, this is the best D-man that we can see, or whatever it is, and pick them up. So I don't know if there's much familiarity.
They played. Hamza and Yusuf played in the league, so they probably know who Umar is here and there. And
yeah,
I mean, let's look at the draft sheet. He probably went.
He went 15th overall, but he was listed. Well, he was listed to go 15th.
Okay, so maybe they are looking.
No, but think about it. He could fit in on their first line as a forward, right? As a winger, he's strong on the ball. He uses his body, and he gets a shot off on net. At the very least, creates a scoring opportunity, right? So, I think he's a solid pickup for them.
100%. And I anticipate him to be going this round anyway. So, and realistically, as a defenseman, Umar, you got to play D. Okay, listen, I don't care, I love you, but you got to play D this season. Okay.
All right. And then at number 16, we actually have, as we talked about before, you have Arif Khan.
Locked in. We knew this was going to happen. He's drafting as it is right now for the team. If our viewers who just showed up, Arif Khan,
Captain Khan,
he is drafting for Sabr due to other other instances.
So
of
let's talk about Arif for a second. Grizzly veteran, can score. He's a shooter, but he also can pass. But again, he's going to be that person who I guess he'd be one of their finishers.
Well, he's gonna have to be, because that's what he plays. He plays wing, he plays forward, doesn't play D-man, and I don't blame him. Right? People challenge him on his speed, but he doesn't need speed when he has the high hockey IQ. He's in the right place at the right time.
So guys, so we're 2 rounds in, right? So maybe we just take a look and see where everyone's kind of shaping up. So you have 5 guys on each team right now. No goalies have been taken except for Ali Khawaja. It was a GM, right? Yeah. Maybe not a surprise there, given how deep this draft is. But you look at a team like Suber, who has 4 top flight forwards and a defenseman. You have also Taqwa with RC Hamza, Omar Hussein, and Mohamed Yusuf Chaudhry, and Tahir 5 forwards there. Or ideally guys who you would want to play.
Omar Hussein will play D, Tahir will play D.
Yeah, some guys who play both, but I think they're all more effective as forwards. Do you think it's going to impact or have an impact on them later on in the draft, where the pickings become slim very quickly, right, with top-notch guys?
What? It's going to be a challenge. There are some big D-men that are coming up, and there's still 1 or 2 that I can see right away. I'm looking at the draft list. I see some good D-men that are yet to be picked. So I think this round is really going to determine what if teams are made in the middle. If the teams are understanding what they have. But I do agree with you, and I do kind of look at that as Taqwa. They're going to be hard pressed right now, because I hate to call my team out from last season, but don't do what Suber did. Right? they just went hard with their GMs. They all played forward. They went with a couple of good D-men, but then it got really thin, and they were just throwing players in to play D, and that didn't work out, right? You need D-men to play D. It's not just a plug-and-play kind of issue. People need to understand the nuances of D. It is a position that you need to understand to play. So
and that's why they're going to go right now in the next couple rounds, because it's premium.
We'll have
premium,
to see.
Dude, premium.
What if they're
So the next one is actually you had Arif Khan going number 16, which we knew about. Then at number 17, it's Arif.
He looks just like Asa.
I know, isn't that uncanny? There's a lot of guys reporting on these guys.
So Arif Hanslund has dropped significantly from what our insiders had predicted.
You know him?
No, I actually don't. I just know that he's a Malton guy. And let me throw this stat out, because I was told this is a very important stat. 23 goals in 8 games in Gym League. Given, again, Gym League.
Gym League.
Not the guy, but Gym League. Again, Malton guy. Unaware, so we don't know if he has arena experience, and it doesn't always translate to arena, right? The gym could be this big, or the gym could be massive. So we have to wait and see what really does happen. But will it actually transfer into production in an arena?
I'm pretty sure Maz or Farouk knew who he was, or Arif knew he was from pickup maybe. And I think there's a lot of inside stuff we don't know.
Yeah.
And that's what we're gonna see. Again, this is where the teams are made. This is where like last season's winners. This is where they're the pickup guys in the middle who you didn't know were good, and they were really good players.
So this is another forward.
Next pick's in. So it's Yakin now. And they have Zakaria Ali.
Zach, okay, I know him. He was on my team last year. Great player, number 1. He can be a number 1 defenseman, puck moving defenseman. Very smart with the ball. Has a great shot, great shot, and let's see. Hopefully, I'll be honest with you, he has a very demanding job. So we missed him a couple weeks here and there, but hopefully he can be there for this team, and he's a great player when he's there.
Again, I'm looking at the draft list. They're going straight to the guys that are just listed as D-man.
He's a good player for that. So at 18, if he shows up, I know him, so hopefully if he's there for most of the games, that him and Hamza Jogiat, let's say as defense pairs, if Hamza has to play D, it's gonna be tough for him and Umar Mahmoud. It's gonna be great.
Okay, we on the next pick with a class. It looks like we have our first goalie. Our first goalie is
No, what?
speechless. I see.
Really, what can you say about Mohamed Patel? Kind of.
Wow, they debadged. They got rid of that.
I'm actually kind of surprised that Rida, Team Malton, didn't go with Badger on their end around, right? So that's where one of my surprises was. Maybe they were hoping that Badger would drop to the third and fourth round.
I was guessing some of the goalies were going to start going like I knew Badger Mohamed Patel was going to come this round, because if he wasn't already gone in the second round, it was just who was going to get him. And honestly, smart move by Wadi and Usman. And you know what?
Yep,
that's a great goalie pickup. And Mandra's pretty pissed at himself right now.
Mohamed Patel is a lock right now, right? We were talking about Iceland Championship, Salam Cup Championship, and Montreal Championship. So like another one for his resume. This is his
and you
prime.
know what? And he's in the gym. He's getting stronger. He's getting bigger. Like, don't expect him to slow down.
Yeah, and you know what? You can't really expect Abu Mandra and Kazi and everyone to pick Badger in the first 2 rounds in this draft, right? You know, it's very tough. It's like, yeah, that's the guy you definitely want. But can you really argue with Isawi going in the first round? A guy they've been after.
No, but they had the
several
snake, right? So
seasons.
they could have got him. You know, I'm gonna throw this.
We don't know enough. We don't know enough about Molson to say that,
true.
right?
Motion. He's a lot of pressure now because
you remember what they did last season, right? They got Mohib Shah early in the draft, and everyone was like, okay, maybe that's too early, or you know, why did someone bet on them? And but still, it depends, right? We'll find out. They're coming off a championship, so we'll see what ends up happening.
There's been another season where Huzaifa Mandra did take Badger, right? So, and then I was traded for Badger 2 seasons in a row.
They wanted to trade away.
Badger loves my
We have our next pick. We have our next pick. Iman has taken Abdul Nafi Zuberi.
Oh, Zuberi. Okay.
Great pickup. I think they stole this away from Ihsan. Ihsan was hoping that Abdul Nafi, messy hair, don't care Zuberi would drop to them.
Egyptian.
Yeah, it's just a great player. He's really developed over the last 3 Iceland seasons, so just 1 full year. Went from a low level forward now to established 2-way player, and he's been holding down Ihsan for the last couple for
defense too, right?
Yeah.
He'll probably play defense too.
I think so.
He also has familiarity with Adam Ahmed, Bilal, and Junaid, right? They play on the Tigers, I think, outside of Iceland. So it's a guy they know and a guy they want on their team. So no surprise there.
Great utility player. I mean, could they have gotten in the next round? Probably not, but who knows? Like defense is going at a premium. Let's see what happens.
All right. With our next pick, we have Ihsan picking, and we have the other Khwaja, Rayan.
Ooh.
That is a perfect
pick. This guy is lights out. I mean, I think last season was his first season, if not his. Yeah, I think it was his first season, and he was just unbelievable. Ali Khwaja's son. So, the apple doesn't fall very far for the tree, other than he's a forward and not a goalie, but very, very talented young player, mashallah.
Sorry.
So I was, discussing with my fellow panel member and the insider that
he
should have been much higher because he was listed in the 20s for our...
I disagreed with you, but it's okay.
Absolutely.
You're right.
But right now, as I'm looking at the draft list, I would have said, no offense to Umar Mahmoud, but I think Rayan Khawaja would have slotted in very well to Yakin. Rayan is a great 2-way player. He does play primarily forward, but again, I've seen him play defense. He played everything and anything, solid minutes.
So I remember him playing that one game where they were short and they had like 6 players.
Yeah.
He's the one guy that just stood out to me.
Yes.
Energizer Bunny, running around, using the body, playing the position, like unlimited tank for a young kid to get in there, and especially he had no fear. He was getting in there right with everyone. It was good to see, and it's really good. I mean, you know what? Let's see. I think there's still There's a lot more room to grow. His ceiling's really high.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think if he puts on a little size and gets a little bigger and taller, I think he'll be he's a very young kid. What is he, like,
I don't know if
16?
he's going to get much taller than where he is.
Yeah, I don't know if he has control over that,
How old is he?
but I think he's 17, 18.
God, he can go another
Somewhere
2
around
feet.
there. It's going to be interesting though, because I think, I mean, obviously he has right issues because he shares it with Ali Khawaja, his
His
dad.
dad, yeah.
So,
But I am happy that his dad, it's like father and son combo, is back on the team. So that's really at the end of the day, that's what I'm really happy for. And we just got confirmation on the chat that he is 17. But yeah, fantastic player, and would have gone. I think he should have gone early, but I'm happy that he went to his family.
He's 17. He can go another feet at least.
so we have our next pick. Haya has taken Salat Malik. No surprise here with Luke.
Oh my
missing so long.
Premium, dude.
Yeah.
Premium.
Steal so far. I think Sadat again could have gone earlier, right? Big body. Sometimes gets in a little bit of penalty trouble, but you're looking at their line. Just look at it, right? You have Hakim Malik center. You have the Malik's kind of team
He
right
dropped,
there.
He dropped it, Malik.
Yeah, we get 2D men with Luke and Sadat. You have Hamoudi center. You have Asif Bika. You have Sufyan. Like you have a
So it
line.
looks like Lukman and Sadat are gonna pair that top deep pairing together.
Possibly, or even if they split up, depending on their next
Regardless,
D-man?
the point is
Solid.
he's the stay-at-home defenseman.
Yes, he is.
He's the solidifying force, and let's see what happens. He's a constant.
Yes.
I would consider him like he's a Chris Pronger to me. He's a constant.
Yeah.
He's
Always shows up. Rarely ever misses a game, unless it's about weather.
We have our next pick here, Riaz Hussein, who is going to be a goalie this season.
Ooh,
playing
first
for
season as
Shakwa.
goalie.
So his brother Omar Hussein is one of
Oh,
the GMs. So he's not a goalie in this picture, but he's going to be a goalie this season. And he's played goalie before, so this isn't like the
I
first
played him
time or
never
anything
the
like
goalie,
that. So
but, I heard he plays goalie.
Yeah, but it's gonna be
talented.
interesting. Is his knee gonna hold
Mashallah.
up? Right. We see him wearing the heavy knee brace, and will his knee hold up to the rigors of playing goaltending? That's gonna be interesting. Right, sticking with family, with his crew, I guess, not his family per se, but with
It's
his
his
crew.
family. It's his brother.
Oh, that's right, Omar. Yeah, sorry, but yeah, definitely with family and crew. But definitely other goalies could have been picked there, but
And you know what? I heard Riaz is a really good goalie outside. We haven't seen him play.
that's true.
I'm sure there's there's a car ride needed. He's a good player. Honestly, I really like Riaz. He's great as a player, and
Oh,
look forward to
fantastic!
seeing. Let's see how he is as goalie.
Yeah, for sure.
all right,
But if it
and
sucks, then yes.
our last pick of this third round is Mr. Ahmed Khalid going to Rida.
Okay,
This is a little bit of a shocker.
interesting.
For
Yeah.
Ahmed to
I mean,
go,
You say it's a shocker, but then you look at the GMs they have
Soccer, it's just interesting.
and the forwards that they have. I think you'd pair up really well with the high level of skill and the speed that they have on that team.
so I guess here's where I come in with this analysis. So I'm looking at Ahmed Khalid, who struggled in the last season. He's had some again lower body issues. He is a good player, no doubt about it. A lot of talent there.
Sniper.
And also, he's going to be very happy that he gets the Leafs blue jersey. He's a die-hard Leaf fan, so he's going to be happy about that. Now, the challenge is,
Looks like they could put him on the second line.
yeah, but he takes a lot of penalties. He struggled to score last season. Is he going to gel with the Rida team? Rida, is he from the West End that he's played with them? He knows them. That's going to be interesting.
I don't know, but
Yeah.
you know what? I think
Mohim Shah wasn't.
he's a good enough. He's a scorer.
And I'm not saying that Ahmed Khalid is Mohim Shah, but things
No, he's a
happen,
scorer.
right?
He's a trigger man. If they maybe he can man that second line if they have a playmaker to go with him. Let's see how the draft unfolds, right? Like, you know what?
That is true.
He's a good player and he deserves to be in that space where he got drafted as far as like his goal making ability. Sometimes he puts his head down and kind of like gets in linear vision, but I can see the same thing about a bunch of players that do that. So, let's see what happens. It's not a shot at you, brother. I just love you. But
Forever the optimist right here, just trying to really be that middle of the line.
So now we have 3 rounds in the books. We have 2 goalies taken, as well as a goalie who's a GM. So 3 out of 8 goalies are done. Now, if we look at, and typically we go through this in the draft, right? Like, okay, a couple goalies have been taken. Are we going to have a barrage of goalies taken next? Or are people going to think, okay, you know what, the top goalies that we really, really had our eyes on are gone, and now we kind of see everyone else kind of at the same level. Are we going to wait a little bit? What do you guys think is going to happen here? Buck, stop moving it.
So we
You
have
got to
three.
scroll back up to the top.
Oh, sorry. Sorry about that. Yeah. Sorry. I think goalies will be picked. I think maybe one or two more goalies might get picked in the next round or two, and then the remainder of goalies will be in the last 2 rounds.
We have 3 of the 8 goalies gone, right? So I do agree with my colleague here that I think a couple of goalies will sporadically go. I don't think it's going to be a fire sale of goalies. And we typically see the last 2 goalies will just be sitting. So, maybe 1 or 2 more, but then, the last few teams are just going to try to solidify their team in the middle rounds and then just leave it to be at the end, because then they do realize that, hey, a goalie can be hot or cold, and it's pretty much a standard and pretty solid throughout the rest of the draft, that we're not going to really have a lot of changes here.
Every goalie is decent in the league, and every goalie has played well. Every goalie has played bad in this league. So, it doesn't matter if you're Ali Quad or you're anyone. So, sorry.
Rida is next up, and they're taking a goalie of all people.
What did I say?
Yeah, Yusuf Kapoor going.
So, yeah.
What did I say?
Yeah, no, you called it. You did call it. I nothing more to say, but Yusuf, he had a great season, no doubt about it. I think a lot of people really kept focusing on that one game where he let in 9 goals, but it is what it is, right? Everyone's allowed to have an off
in front
day.
of him too, so it's okay.
Everyone's allowed to have an off day, and you can't really change that, right? It's when you can't stop a beach ball, you can't stop a beach ball. It happens. But he bounced back, and he posted some really, really good games, and he stonewalled. Was it Eclass last season? And he really, really helped their team to come back.
I've played with him for many seasons. I know what he's capable of doing. I know, and you know what? There's seasons where he's drafted later on, and he's better than that, and he's proven that by them drafting him right now where he is. So
we have our next pick. It's Hood Khan going to Taqwa.
Hood Khan. That is an interesting pickup. So probably they do know him. They've played with him. The interesting pickup is not typical.
Where have they played with him though? I don't think they know him. They haven't played with him in Iceland.
But I think he plays in one of the other. I think that's also a Scarborough league.
Maybe another league. Okay, got it.
Yeah, they're probably looking at him to kind of be the scoring force on their second line. So he can score. I've seen him. Last season was his first season, right? Him and Zianakula was the first season.
I think it was the second season.
Okay.
They had the season.
So they played a couple of years here, a couple of seasons in Iceland. They're good young players, and they're great guys outside the rink too. So it's good to have brothers like that come back, and I'm looking forward to these young guys coming in and getting smarter, getting stronger, and keep growing.
Well, what do you know? We have another goalie.
Bam, Mr. Khalid Mufti. What really needs to be said about him? He's a solid goalie, very unorthodox. He's not this typical butterfly goalie, but he just kicks his leg out, kicks his pointer finger out. I don't know what he kicks out anymore. He gets something on it and he stops it. He's made some big clutch saves in the last few seasons. He's won a championship over the last year as well. So tried, tested, true. And I think he's played on Haya that one season that they won the championship, right?
I'm sure he is.
Yeah. So that they
Luke and team definitely know him, so there's some familiarity there for sure.
I played with him last season. He is a solid goalie. He's saved us a lot of times where it should have been 8-0, and it was like 2-0.
Now,
we have
Moose.
Our next pick,
Moose.
Holland going to Isan.
Defense is a premium.
Yeah. So definitely good pickup right there. Veteran player. The challenge for Moose is penalties. So again,
I think he was pretty good last season.
Was he?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
Essen Zaidi, right? That's another penalty taker. So guys, just please be careful. Sticks down, the shoulders in. But definitely rounding out their decor right here and I think Rayon might be playing defense just to help his dad out and help the team out if Dawood does decide to play up. But again, they're both interchangeable, so it's a good pickup.
Rayon's dad's not on this team.
Another goalie. That's the third goalie of the round. You have Yusuf Mohammed going to Iman.
Go with what you know. Adam Ahmed, I think now 2 seasons in a row, he's drafted Yusuf Mohammed. Great goalie. I thought he would struggle coming into the league because he only played gym hockey. Proved me wrong by winning the championship that year. So it shut me up right away.
Had a little bit of struggles last season.
He did. But you know what? Again, I can't really
He's a
blame
good
him.
young player.
He is. I don't know if he wasn't able to see through the traffic or whatnot, but he played well, really, when it came down to it. Everyone has their challenges, but great pickup, great goalie. I think Huzaifa's tired of having some uncertainty in net, so having Yusuf will really keep in peace. Hey,
Love it.
there's a reason why I go.
Buddy,
why I go
you
later
win
rounds.
championships. What you do? You win championships. All you do is win.
Well, Abdullah Patel's up next.
Yeah.
Speaking.
Wow.
Mr. Umrah on Umrah himself.
Abdullah, if you're in Saudi right now, if you're still on, you just got drafted, so you're going with your boy, Mr. Ali Wadi, your uncle or whatever, relative or somebody or the other. You're with family as well. Abdullah is a great pickup. He's a really smart player. I think a lot of people don't really give him the credit. They kind of say, oh,
I give him too much credit.
his size or whatnot, but you know what? He makes it work. He's really light on his feet. He gets around, he hustles, he plays hard to the ball and right to the net. He gets the goals.
I'm going to say this. I think he had a lot of pressure being a GM last season. He's a very smart player, but you know what? A lot less pressure on him now. He can focus on being the second line guy for this team and a lot of veteran leadership, so he doesn't have to do much besides play.
Now is he going to be the shadow GM again? Or is his uncle just going to
Too much butter.
You look at Munawar isn't really familiar with the league or all the players there. Ali is, yes or no, he joined at the end of last season, and Usman has been away for a few seasons. So, hey, shadow GM maybe, who knows? We'll have to see how the team does. But we have Irfan Banapatel, EVP, going on next to
Where'd he go?
T Park crew.
Jeez.
Yakin.
Go with what you know. Go with what you know.
He's a Malton guy.
Isn't he a multi-man?
Okay, let me take this back, old school. Back in the days of Medina Hockey League, where I used to coach the T Park boys, Bana Patel was a staple with T Park. So again, go with what you know, who you've played with, who you've grown up with, and this is just a hard-nosed player.
EVP is a stable, smart, two-way player that can play physical, can score, does whatever you need him to do. He can play in your first line. He can play in your second line. He can do whatever you need to do. So
now again, lack of D-man right here. They only have 2 D. That again, that is if Umar Mahmoud goes D and Zakaria Patel, who is a D-man.
Zakaria
Ali.
And Hamza might play D. We'll see.
Speaking of D-men, we have Summer taking Coco, Wasim Kagzi.
Wasim Kagzi, what can you say? I actually thought he might have T Park may have picked up Wasim Kagzi just to help out on D, but hey, goes to a veteran team. Adil and Wasim on D, that's going to be tough to get through. Both very mobile, very agile. Both puck movers. Yes, they have, and they did really well after that trade
because Johan can rely on Kagzi to be there, so Johan can do what Johan does, and Kagzi likes to do what Kagzi does, and so as long as there's a general understanding and relationship there, they play together. It's going to be good. Looks like familiarity is going to be going around there, and everyone's going with who they know.
Yeah, great pick.
And premium.
Summer's on the snake now, and they're taking Khalil Coker.
Grizzly veteran leadership and a sniper.
Yeah, in the right place at the right time. One of the banes of anytime I see him, I have to make sure I know exactly where he is when I'm playing goalie. He just finds a way to get in that that pocket right away. And I think Adil's going to find him quite often. Even Casentini, he'll just be able to find Coker's stick right on the ground and just waiting for that tip-in goal. And Coker just does it so well.
So I played with him a couple of seasons. I played with him 2 or 3 seasons actually. He's one of the best shooters I've seen. Very smart hockey IQ, but sometimes passes when he could just score. So we yell at him all the time, dude, shoot it. He's like,
Are we surprised that this is the first poker going? I don't know. We'll
No,
leave it for.
no, it's a good call because I thought of it right away. I'm like, that's interesting. Khalil would go before Saqib, but I guess you know what, Saqib's loyalty to softball has him drafting falling much lower.
No.
All right, so we have Imran Kotwal going to Yakin. Now, I'm not familiar with his brother. Do you guys have any info on him?
Yeah. I have a little bit of. I had to do a little bit of digging. I know the Kotwal family. Just wasn't really aware of Imran Kotwal. So I think from what I heard from our insider that he's playing defense this season. But I'm just kind of digging in the last few seasons for YCBHL. Hasn't really put up a ton of points. Doesn't take a lot of penalties. That's again a very big plus for him. I think he went roughly where he should. I'm gonna have to look to see if there's any other D-men that could have gone over him. But I think that's still a good pickup. You go with again who you know, what you know, and what he brings to the table.
What's his style again? How does he play?
Just D.
What kind of D? Is he stay-at-home D, or is he what kind of defense does he play?
Bro, do I look like I get around to every league and watch everything? No,
we got the next poker off the board now. Two slots after his uncle.
Off the board now.
And he goes to green. He goes to a plus.
Jeez.
I gotta say that Saqib was behind the scenes. He is very hopeful that he would get onto this team. He's a little.
Got your wish, buddy. Got your wish.
But yeah, he's definitely going to be happy with this pick for sure.
Other than who was it? Shahriar Khan. This is looking like the same kind of green team that went to the finals against the T Park guys. So with
looks like a very well-rounded group. Very
Yes.
smart
Yeah.
hockey IQ. Saqib can do a lot for this team. He can play forward. He can play defense, but I think he's one of the best defensive forwards that there is there,
Yes.
and he has a hell of a shot.
face-offs.
I think for him, if he's going to be your second line center, then you have a good team.
Yeah.
So he can play on the first line center if he needs to. Very very reliable guy and defensively smart, and I think he'll mesh in well with this group.
And last season, he really proved himself on the back end as well. When it came to crunch time, he was able to step up.
Jawad Majid,
Iman next is taking Jawad Majid on Iman.
my boy Blue. Well, where did he go?
He went to Iman.
Okay, interesting. Where is he gonna slot
Is
in?
he
Defenseman.
Yeah.
Okay, Jawad is a two-way player. I seen him play forward. I seen him play D. I think he actually wanted to play D this season, so I think it's good for them. Jawad's a very reliable, does the right plays, does nothing fancy, but plays the right way, and I think again he'll be able to fill in those slots on forward and D depending on what they need.
Mm-hmm.
So great depth pickup, and for their second line or for their second D, it's gonna be great. Next up,
We have Ibrahim Hindi going to
Mr.
Isan.
Mr. Shadow GM of many years. He's usually in the back end making some helping to make some picks and trades and whatnot. But again, nothing but respect for him. Great player, great brother in the locker room. Helps to keep people very calm and collected. Maybe a little bit too calm and collected. But great player. I just haven't been able to see him for a full season in the last couple of years. He's been off and on. I hope he can finish off a full season and be and get back to what he used to be able to do.
very very smart player.
He is going to be missing. He's going to be missing a couple of games this season, though. He did submit that in his registration, and being in his role, he does do Umrah trips and things like that. So I'm not sure if that's the case, but there are other commitments that we have that we can't get around, right? So it's understandable.
He's a very smart player. He's an interchangeable player. He can play whatever position you need him to play in. And I think the big thing is he's familiar with Dawood. Dawood's played with him a bunch of times. He's drafted him a bunch of times. So again, go.
Speaking of Dawood, we have the other Dawood Khan, going to Haya.
So
You know about this.
yes, he was on my team last season. Didn't really want to play defense because he's a natural forward, but he played D last season. And he was pretty hard on himself, but he played really well. He was able to keep up with the big guys. He played partnered with Sadat most of the time, and he was able to hold his own against first line players. So again, tremendous potential, tremendous upside. Just has to get some nurturing from his team, but I think he'll get that with Sadat. Again, he's drafted with Sadat. Now, although that does pose
I'm sure
a challenge.
that probably like
Yeah.
threw his name out there.
But here's the thing: both the brothers, Dawood Khan and Hood Khan, are on separate teams.
It's okay.
So now Hood's the ride?
So I guess Hood's going early.
So we'll see what happens about that. So
Yeah.
All right, so we have our next pick, Mr. Multani himself, going to Taqwa.
Oh wow, that is that's a solid pick at where he was. I thought he would have gone a little earlier than that, but you know what? It is who's he playing with? Oh wow, that's a good combination. Great guy to play on your first and or second line as a winger. Very smart hockey IQ, great goal scorer, good teammate, all around great guy. So you know, good to have him in the league again. And yeah, I think it's a great pickup for them at 39. Jeez.
yeah, he's about where our insiders picked him to go. Again, great player. I'm pretty sure he's happy he's fallen this far.
I disagree with the insiders because I think he's better than that. So,
He just hasn't been able to pull the trigger. Like he always thinks about passing where he just needs to just whine and fire sometimes. But again,
Struggled to score last season for sure.
yeah, he just needs to release that. He overthinks it.
But he's a very smart. So I'll say this: he's a very smart player. Anyways, you know what? I'll praise him later. We got a next pick here. Fahad Panchbaya.
He's going to Rida, so Abu Mandra and all.
Yeah,
Malton and Co.
no relation to any of the other Pachbayas. So let's make that very clear. Fahad's made that clear to me too. But great player. Again, I think he's happy that he's fallen this far.
I think he got drafted where he wanted to be drafted.
Yeah. He's a great player, right? I think he's holding back a little bit just because
Coming back from injuries and stuff.
Exactly, right? But as the season
Big
went
injuries.
on, as the season went on last season, he started finding his groove and rhythm. So if
we talked about that off ice, we talked about that on that side. You know, when you have a big injury like that, it takes time. It takes a long time mentally to get back in the rhythm.
But if he can find that same confidence that he did last season, I think his trajectory is quite exponential.
Playing with his friends and colleagues, his Malton colleagues, he's gonna enjoy that. So you know it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good for these guys.
On the snake, Rida takes Amar Khwaja. What a solid guy! This guy is. I mean, you see what happened when he did last season. He was traded from one team to the other to Isan last season, and Isan was winless up till the point when they got him, and then they didn't lose a game until the playoffs once they did add him to the team, and he just solidified that team to no end. And it just
he is Mr. Reliable
presence he is.
He is Mr. Reliable. You know what? Like he always gets picked lower in the draft, and I don't know why. Like this is where he should always be drafted based on his contributions to his teams every season. I know I played for many seasons. He does a lot of things that you don't realize.
Mm-hmm.
He plays very smart, and I think I said this in another podcast a long time ago. But you know, the biggest compliment you can get is when Adil Patel says, "I don't trust anyone on D except Amar Khwaja." You know, that usually is a good thing. So
Yusuf, be very happy. I have nothing but great things to say about Amir.
Physical,
yeah.
You know, he has a bigger gas tank than you think. That you know he can play the whole game if you need to.
He can also run with the best players. He can stay. He can keep up with the best players. But again, man, just the fantastic.
That was coming with their next pick, Rian Muhyiddin.
Who that?
Great question. So, question of the night is who dat?
I'm joking.
I wonder if he was the other Muhyiddin's brother, Bilal Muhyiddin, if there's any relation to that. But if there is, then this could be a pickup to maybe try to get Zaid Clare back for
I smell a sleeper.
Let's just say we're looking forward to getting to know him a little bit better this season, and looking to see him live up to his expectations as the 42nd overall pick in the draft.
He's
next we have, welcome to the league, brother. we have Hussein Malik going to Haya. So it looks like Lou's really going with the guys he knows.
Team Malik, whatever you want to call them, it's happening again. So the Malik train will come down for Haya's games and then leave with Haya's games. So I don't know if Woodbridge Driving Academy's in the if Rizzy's in the draft this season. I'll have to take that, but Riz is the only Malik that's not been on the team Malik for the last couple of seasons. So
Hussein Malik has been. Let's talk about Hussein for a sec. He's a great player, offensively gifted, big, strong kid. I shouldn't say kid, adult, but
young individual.
Main thing with Hussein is he had a. I don't think he played up to what he normally thinks is his normal playing level last season. I think he had a little bit of a down year in production. So obviously they're going to look for him for offense.
Yeah, well, can he bounce back, right? And can he not let the whole Maliks kind of get a hold of him? But hopefully they'll encourage him and release his potential.
Okay, Matt, sorry, next.
Yeah, we have Seth Quadra going to Isan. So he's joining his dad and his brother there. Another very, very solid guy.
So, Saif, I know you're in the chat. How old are you? Are you the older one to Rayan, or are you younger than Rayan? So,
was he playing last year or is this his first season?
Well, clearly he was in an A-class jersey, so he was playing.
That's true.
I think
maybe not last season, but the season before.
I think he played in summer. I don't think he played in the fall, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, yeah.
He's 18, mashallah.
He's 18. Yeah, mashallah. So, if I remember correctly, he was also wearing a full cage. So if it is the same Khawaja or the same person I'm thinking of,
he's a smart man for wearing the cage.
Yeah. Great player. Again, 1 year older, so he's hopefully 1 year wiser, and he'll be able to bring that same pedigree of the Khawaja to the league and just continue on that family tradition of great ball hockey talent.
All right, Bilal Ulvi going at 45 to Iman. New to the league, at least hasn't played for the last few seasons. Are we familiar with him?
I'm not.
Unfortunately not. Now the only thing is with Ulvi, being brother, cousin, family of Junaid Ulvi, I know Huzaifa Manjur has gotten Junaid Ulvi into one of the leagues on the West End to play. So I don't know if Bilal's been able to play with there as well, and if he's been getting some game time in. So
might be a sleeper based on the fact that nobody really knows how he plays.
Yeah, and considering going at 45, that's kind of high for a not well-known player. So that's
welcome to the league, brother. Welcome.
If you know the sleeper, you never know.
Yeah.
All right, number 46 to the class, you have Hashim Chaudhry.
Oh my God, this team is just stacked on defense right now. This is great. Hashim's another fantastic player.
Big body, plays defense.
Yeah. Little bit of a hothead at times, but rightfully so. Can take some penalties. So again, got to watch out. Very physical team. Ikhlas is turning out to be. But great shot from the point, high IQ, can move up the ball very quickly and join the play as well. So fantastic player.
Smart player, big body. Great pick. And it plays defense.
Yeah.
Another
brother who I think he's brand new to the league. Are you guys familiar with him?
No, I'm trying to find him on our list just to find any sort of background on Delic.
I'm assuming.
It's okay. We'll get to know him, I'm sure, over the course of the season.
I'm sure Hamza and Yusuf know him. Otherwise, wouldn't draft him where he is.
Yeah.
So what? Let's highlight these guys who are being drafted in the middle, and they're new to the league because there's got to be something that we don't know.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think he's a T Park kid and he plays defense, from what I'm hearing. We'll see how he goes. Next, we have
welcome to the league.
Welcome to the league. Welcome. Big body. We also have Imran Alvi then going as the next goalie. So we had a little bit of a break, about 20 picks or so. And he goes at the end of the 6th round.
Extra royalty. Welcome back.
Really, what can I say about him? He's great team player, great player to be around. Great presence in the locker room. Fantastic goalie, right? When he's on, he's on. Again, we all have our good and bad days. But just I think he'll fit in very well with a good solid decor that they do have. I think Alvi will just slide right in, be able to.
Do you think they need to pick him right there, or could they wait to the bottom?
Now, how many goalies are gone? Are we thinking? So 1, 2,
I think
3.
it's just
Two goals
you're
left?
the last goalie left. I think
I think we'll ask that question.
1, 2,
Yeah.
3,
Yeah.
4, 5,
We'll
6,
figure that out.
7 goals. You're the last one on the board, Maju. So I imagine it might be a while before you're taken.
Auto draft.
Yeah. So you're
Yeah.
going
So I
to.
mean, in that case, if I
I
personally,
think you're going to Yakeen. You're going to T Park. Surprise, surprise.
Actually, Isan does have a goal. Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, they do. So, all right. So at least Maju knows where he's going now. We have a message from one of our new GMs, Munawar Hamdani, who's saying, "Welcome, Salam, welcome to the league, and we're looking forward to having you at the hangar next week, inshallah." So we made it halfway through the draft now. We're going into the second half, and they're starting off. Suber again on the snake is taking Omer Syed.
solid physical player, defensively plays well. Was a pest when I played against him, so I mean, that's good, I guess. I'm sure you've seen his play too.
Yeah. He's a great player, good speed, bursts of speed, but still been able to keep up with the big with the big opposing team. Likes to drive the play forward, so he has the offensive presence of mind to be able to push it up quickly. So I think it's a good addition to the team.
Khalid Hatia is going next to Yakeen. So is he another East End T Park guy?
I'm thinking so as well. I think again yet another sleeper pick that's being picked up, so that
They know
has
what they're
rides.
taking. They know where they want to take.
Yeah, just another guy who at least will get a ride with them and will be able to show up.
Insider, do you know anything about Khalid Hafia?
So he's apparently a Scarborough kid. So Insider is replying.
He's a Scarborough kid. Welcome, brother. Welcome.
All right. And next we have Omar Farouk Daya returning to the league after last season. And he's going to Ikhlas.
I don't recall as much, but if you remember,
Yeah. Again, so Black was built on just kind of size, speed, and depth, right? So Daya does bring that extra depth of play. I can't remember if he plays D or forward, but again, just any player from now here on out on Ikhlas, if you're listening, anyone that gets drafted, really on any team, have your eyes open, ears open, listen to your teammates, right? And adapt to the play of anyone that you're going to be playing with. I think, and Daya has been playing for a couple of seasons now, and he's been able to manage pretty well.
Some of the notes on Omar Daya is like an excellent forward with a great hand. So, again, our insiders,
second, third line. Yeah,
I'd say second, third line. I mean, third line if he wants to, but it's a second line.
Second line, yeah.
Ahmed Wasif going next to Iman at 52.
That is. I think he played with Adam last season or the season before. So definitely, again, another player that he knows. Ahmed Wasif. Just hustle player who plays well, plays great. Just plugs into the team. I'm kind of
physical player.
Yeah, I'm just kind of surprised again where he's going. Maybe a little bit early, maybe not. I don't know the rest of the draft as it is. We're getting kind of fast, furious picks, but we'll have to see what he shows on the floor with the new team that he's playing with.
All right, and next we have Fahad Banjfaya. No relation to Fahad Banjfaya.
Everyone's related somehow. Zahid Panjba, he is. Here we go. Let me just take a look. Where's
his brother? I understand he was injured last season, correct? And I think he's going to be. It's good to see him recovered, inshallah, and back in the draft and playing again. I mean, this guy, he plays well. He's a forward, if I'm not mistaken. And he's reliable out there.
Yeah, again, go with who you know. Ihsan, right? He's wearing the jersey. Dawood picks players he knows and he's familiar with. So again, going right back to Ihsan and their red Oilers jersey, which is just astonishing to me. And Sweet Saju saying, mashallah, he's a stud. So definitely looks like to be a good pickup. Again, I don't know if there's any relation to Fahad Bachbaya or anyone, but it's good to see him back and just recovering from his injury, like you said. So mashallah, he's back, and inshallah you'll be able to put up some good numbers and just again contribute to the team's success.
Haya is up next. Any guesses on the last name of the person being picked?
Not Malik.
Oh, Rizzi!
All-star.
Rizzi is now back with the family.
He's officially the loudest guy on the floor, regardless of whether he's on the bench, he's in the penalty box, he's on the floor, he's knocked out, whatever. You can always hear him. Most intense guy out there.
2 years in a row, he was cut out of the family functions of Malik or whatever happened. Anybody was upset that they weren't drafting him, but now he's finally back with Team Malik. And like you said, he's definitely the loudest one out there. Leaves it on the floor every single game. There's usually never anything left in his tank just because he goes all out. But really great experience, but also drives up quite a bit on the age side.
All right, next guy we have is Hamza Gaya going to Taqwa.
Speed.
And can score.
He can, but you know what? I've no offense, Hamza, but I've told you this before too. If your hands could keep up with your feet, you'd be an amazing player, right? The man can outrun anyone in the league, anybody in the league. He's
Don't
just
say
pure
that.
speed.
Don't say that. Zay Claire's gonna challenge him to a speed contest soon.
He can just outrun anybody. There's been times where goalies have been down and out, and he just has to get a stick on it or just take a quick shot, but it just rolls off. Or maybe a not necessarily the best pass in the world either. But if he can just tweak that one little part of his game, just a next level player. So really good pickup for where he did go, but definitely helps round out extra speed on their team.
And I don't know if you guys noticed, but he had a Habs jersey on under that jersey in his picture. So can't give him that much support, but we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. To end out the 7th round, we have Zia Nakuda going.
Zia Nakuda played with him last season. Great individual. Kind of disappointed to see Hood, Zia, and Dawood all on separate teams.
They're big boys. They can do it. It's okay.
Yeah, no, of course, but they're kind of like family friends and just close friends. So disappointed to see the split up, but great pickup for Rida. Has the hands, has the vision, has the ability to play, has the speed. Now again, just that nurturing and to find the right player on his line to feed him the ball, and he'll pass back as well. So just having that connection, I think it'll lead to success, but also. Student of Omar Asawi, so that helps them.
Definitely.
And just to be clear, a student from school, not a hockey student of Asawi's. That cough wasn't timed. But at 57 on the snake, Rida takes Adam Patel.
Adam Patel.
These guys all look the same. Him.
Easy on the dad jokes, bro. Easy on the dad jokes.
Listen, everyone who does not have their picture, please first week come get your picture taken.
So we hear that he's from T Park.
Yes, he is.
So do you know him, Manju, or no?
I believe it's the same Adam that I'm thinking of. Plays defense. Just Malton, I guess they have the insider knowledge, right? Gujarati connection. They want to pick him up and steal him away from Thorncliffe, and they have done so. So plays defense. I think slated and went approximately where he was supposed to. But good pickup for Rida.
All right, Aqua takes Anas Varachia next.
Insider, please. You know what? Anas Varachia.
You were supposed to do that on Varachia. You were supposed to get some background on him.
Yeah, I do remember that chat. You were supposed to do some online research.
I googled him. I googled him. He's a Scarborough kid, right?
Okay, I'll give you an easy one. Baksh, I'll give you an easy one. Who's going to go to Haya next? What's their last name?
Welcome
Malik.
to
Oh, you got this right. Wow, what are the odds of that?
Hey man, gas is expensive. Everyone needs to ride together. Ismail Malik is a great player, and he's proven to be a really good. He gets in the right places. He gets solid positioning out there, and you can count him in for a good number of goals. I think for where they picked him, I think is a great value.
Yeah, definitely. I think he's going to fall onto the third line just because of the depth they do have.
But he can move up and down.
He
He's a
definitely
good
will.
player.
Yeah. Now, again, the challenge is if there's a Malik wedding or a Dawit,
Then everyone
they're all gone. That team might just end up taking a loss. Sorry, guys.
This next pick, I'm not surprised that he's gone to Isan with Daoud. Daoud literally loves.
I was like, if I don't know you, I'm not
Like,
picking.
I think he's drafted like 4 or 5 seasons in a row now.
Oh, that tells you. I mean, he's a good. Okay, I played with him for many seasons. Great person in the locker room. Great brother. We'll do what you ask him to. We'll play defense if you ask him. We'll play forward if you ask him to. And he has legs. He can go. It's good to have him. He's one of those guys. He plugs in anywhere. He'll plug in anywhere, and I've seen him move up and down the draft. It's good to see him. I think that's kind of where he should be in the draft.
I hope they keep him as a forward. He does much better as a forward than a D-man, but a great player nonetheless. I do agree.
Okay, next up, where's Sal?
Sile Mohammed going to Iman. Again, familiarity. They know the guy. Makes sense as a pick, no?
I think where he was drafted, I think it's pretty good.
Sahil, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's Doc's son, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I'm a little surprised about where he went. I would think I like him as when I'm in net. I'd like to see him play. I like the way he plays. He can pull the heavy and hard minutes.
I'm gonna throw some shade out there. The insiders had him picked in the 30s.
Oh, okay. So
and I personally have
controversial.
I personally have him pegged in the 30 to 40, the 40 to 50 maybe. Yeah. I mean, this is a great value. He's a great defenseman, and he can play forward too. So what? I think a very versatile player and
definitely a steal right there.
Steal.
Next, we have Naeem Shah going to Ikhlas, or as I like to call him, Wahib's brother. No, I'm kidding. But unfortunately, I haven't had a chance to really get to know Naeem. But I'm sure he's just as great a brother as Wahib. But he goes to Ikhlas now.
He was on white, right?
He was on white. Then that was the discussion we were having today.
I remember him.
Of
now I'm sorry, I wasn't looking.
Where was he supposed to go? I think our insider had him in the 60s. I think that's way too low for Naeem Shah. He is a bit of a one-man show from time to time, but he really works hard at what he does. And I think to go where he went at 62, to be on such a team, fantastic pickup, just phenomenal pickup. And Naeem just going to keep bringing that hustle.
Okay, now let's talk less about Naeem Shah, more about the guys who are doing pictures.
The Warachia.
Next pick is?
Buck, this is all you. Again, you're responsible for this.
I think he's new season.
But again, all Thorncliffe, right? Warachias have all played together with Hussein Malik, Salih Azmi, Ismail and Hussein. So a little bit of familiarity with the Malik team, but also with the T Park boys. So just again, family and welcome to the league, as my co-host would say. So
a big welcome to everyone who's new to the season.
But please, again, come get your pictures taken so we can have you guys on future drafts on.
We'll chase you for your pictures. Don't worry about coming. We'll chase you.
And smile smile on your pictures.
Next, we have Faisal Mahbub going to Suburb.
Someone stole his lunch in this picture. Jeez.
So, Faisal. What can you say? Great player, understands where to be, how to play. Great face-off.
Ageless wonder.
But you look at this team. You see Arif Khan. You live Poker, Faisal Mahbub. What is their team average in age? Like 50? 55? I don't know what's going on here.
There may be some outliers in this, but Faisal. I mean, to be honest, again, Faisal always plays great. Always outperforms where he's drafted every season. I've played with him. I've played against him. He's annoying to play against. He's tough. He goes into every corner. He has a wooden stick. You don't want to be hit with that wooden stick. But you know what? It's he always plays well. And he had a great season last year and won championships. And what's it called?
He performed.
I got some stuff coming in.
Well, on the snake, we have Abbas Amarshi going to Suburb as well. And I just think that, wow, he felt like this is a steal at 65.
I think the key thing is I think Suburb is like the Sunday pickup team here. It looks like it.
the old folks just coming out of the home, being led out of their nursing homes and joining to play. Sorry, Adil, you got looped in here, and so did Farouk too. But the old men will play. Abbas Amarshi, great player, Great
defenseman.
two-way player, but he also played forward last season, and he's proven. I like to say he's my boy, Abbas Amarsi, Abbas Ali, whatever you want to call him. I call him Timu Solani on forward and Raymond Bork on defense. So he can play both ends. Great hockey IQ. He might struggle with speed,
I just
but I
call
think
him
he
a-
knows.
I just call him a boss. He's a great guy, and you know what, great teammate and solid defenseman. And I think personally, I think I know he probably likes to go and play forward, but I think he can stay back there and
Yeah,
provide some solid.
he will. He definitely will.
Next pick, we have another guy who looks very familiar, Ibrahim Tagari.
Tagadi, my friend.
Tagari? Okay,
Yes.
sorry.
Part of the real estate Tagaris, I guess. Ibrahim, I know you. I remember you from our Saturday ball hockey at what's it called, at Jenner. So good to see you in the league, man. He's definitely developed some speed and being able to play. So I can't wait to see what he's able to do now. I did see in his score sheet though, a little bit of an issue. He really likes to take some penalties. So Tagari, I hope you can hold off in your fall 2002 for one of your teams. You pulled up 12 minutes in 4 games. What the heck's going on with that? So
Speaking of taking penalties, look who we got next.
oh god, who's
Points
next?
to Iklas.
Fancy.
Oh my god. No. So he doesn't take penalties. He just acts and dives to draw the penalties. Solid player, stay at home. Doesn't have the best speed, but does make up for it in his diving abilities and his swimming, front stroke, back stroke, whatnot.
I think we call it hockey IQ.
Oh, that's what we call it
we
now.
call it. It's the Zoo Fancy hockey IQ. The Zoo Fancy school of taking advantage.
Drunk, yeah,
taking
yeah,
advantage. You know,
yeah.
he's-
Going back to Iman again this season is Mikhail Zaidi.
Whoa,
That's 68.
What's going on with the hair?
Well, I still haven't made fun of Zoo enough. Let's go back to Zoo for a second, please. I need time on Zoo. I need 2 minutes to get all my Zoo jokes.
We're moving on. We're moving on.
Okay. Mikhail Zaidi, I could speak to him.
Yeah.
Hassan Zaidi's son, played with him last season. He has the potential to be a really good player. He has speed. He's a great forechecker, great defender. He has the potential to be a second line player. If I just say this, and I said to him to his face too, you gotta shoot. Once you get the confidence to shoot, then he'll be a complete package.
There's another trade that I can see happening. Maybe Zaid Claire and Mikhail Zaidi for, actually, again, different players on different teams right now. But Zaidi might be going to Isan if they can try to get father and son together.
I think
Well, you look at it. Isan was picking next. You almost wonder if they were planning on taking him next and just missed out by just one pick, right?
Absolutely.
hey, these games happen.
It's all gamesmanship, bro.
So my
All right, we got Salman Ulvi going next to Isan.
Any relation to the other LBs?
probably.
I think so. Yes, there is.
Salman is a veteran of this league and veteran of hockey. I mean, he took a lot of time off and joined back a couple seasons ago and looked great. I mean,
He's fast. He's still fast. He still has hands. Maybe he's lost a little bit of a step. But you know what? He's out there. He can score and he can shoot. What else do you want with the guy? He'll back check, he'll forecheck.
Yeah.
He's an all-around guy. I think he's a good pick at 69.
100%, great player. Now, I just want to know, what did Salman do to get kicked off the Ulvi team? Because Iman is Iman is the team of Ulvis. We got Bilal Ulvi, Junaid Ulvi. So what did Salman do not to get picked?
Maybe he was going next because Haya was definitely picking next. But you got Sayed Bilal Iftikhar.
Great family.
where'd he go? Oh, he's familiar. I think he was there last time.
Yeah. He was playing with Haya before. Great player. Is still developing his hockey IQ, but definitely has the speed. Great family. Comes from a great family. His brothers are in the league. His parents come out to watch some of the games as well. But dude, all I gotta say is, and I speak from experience, put down the bag of chips, grab something, maybe celery or something. But jokes aside,
Chips are fruit. No,
chips are vegetables, my friend. But definitely brings a lot of speed on the second and third lines, and will be able to pocket a few here and there to really help out the team.
Imad?
All right. Next, we have Hamza Abdullahi going to Taqwa.
That's a great pickup.
So he played with RC last season, if I'm not mistaken, correct? No, wait, he was on a class.
He was on.
He won the
Yeah,
championship
he was
with
on
us.
Rida. So like this year's team Rida on Malta
Yes.
last year.
He's on
So
Malta's team,
yeah, a little bit
Went
surprised.
fresh on the
yeah.
championship.
He's in Blue 71. I've always
Yeah.
liked his game. I've seen him every season since he joined up. He's gotten better and better and better.
Mhm.
I think it just comes to time of being more and more familiar with everyone and how everyone plays. He's very, very fast. He does great on the forecheck. He'll do what is required of him, and he'll pot in a couple goals here and there.
Yeah.
So you know what? I mean, at 71,
I think he's happy because remember when you go this low,
everyone's happy this year.
well, yeah, because you just have better players or bigger, better players ahead of you. So like, hey, it's golden for me. I don't have to do as much, or no one's gonna rely on me as much.
We have Rida going next. They have Safwan Patel at 72.
Safwan, what can I
Great.
say, man?
Great guy.
Always a smile on his face, but Malton crew for sure.
It was first season last season,
Yeah.
and won a championship. Played really well with that team, and again, I've seen him. I've played against him. I've seen him play out there. He's a smart player, and where he got picked, I think it's a great pick.
All right, we're starting the third last round, the 10th round. And on the snake, Rida takes us to Tirmizi.
Hussein Tirmizi. Wow. I can never say that.
I didn't
name
want to say it.
properly.
That's why I said
Fantastic player, a kind of a plug and play player. I think he primarily plays forward, but I have kind of seen him crunch time come back and help out as always. He played in the summer season. I played with him on Takwa, and just fantastic player. He was he was our kind of go-to player of the night regularly, just because people. Tall, he's tall and lanky. People don't put too much effort or stock into him, but he does surprise a lot of players. So watch for him to make a little bit more of a splash this season. And great pickup this late.
Great. And then next pick, we have Umar Dean at 74 to Takwa.
Great defensive pickup, and I think he's familiar with the RC. I think he played with him last season, so familiarity and the positional need, and he's a solid defense. He's a solid defenseman.
Definitely looking at their team, definitely in need of D-men, and then just to help out the team and
Stay-at-home
be there.
defense does his job properly,
Perfect. That's exactly what you need.
and has experience with RC from last season, so I'm sure it's very familiar.
So do we have another Malik coming up? Or
Yeah.
are we all exhausted?
I think they're done.
Another what?
Another Malik or Malik?
No, we have Amr Hanif actually going to Haya next.
Amr Hanif, that's very low for him.
The man who looks like he's like 20, 35, 40, whatever, and he has two teenage kids.
I think you have it confused with someone else.
Boo. Okay, yeah, I do. I completely do. I'm looking at the picture better.
So Amr Hanif, he was on my team last season. Played D. He's a versatile player. He can play forward or D, but played defense.
He's a good second, third line center and maybe a second pair placeman.
We even had him playing in first pair defense too. I mean, he's a very reliable and very smart player, high hockey IQ, and plays the right way. That's it. At the end of the day, at 75, geez, I would have had him pegged in even the 50s.
There you go. And next pick at
Really?
76 is the commissioner himself, Ahmed Ibrahim.
The commish.
Go with what you
off
know.
the board.
He played with his
Where's
son
he
last year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was not dumb. He's gonna pick the commissioner, obviously. No. Energizer. This dude he has the highest cardio of anyone in the league. I can guarantee you, nobody can outrun them. As a marathon runner, no one can outrun this guy.
Okay.
Well, and we know that
What he always says, hasn't missed a game in now 11 years. So
He's a
well,
great
it's part of
player.
the job, I think.
They're underrated, and you know what, Kamish, I'm rooting for you. Low expectations, I love it.
And he played with Dawood last season, I believe, as well. So some familiarity there. All right, next we have Suleiman Patti going to Iman.
Is he missing games?
Salman Bati, I don't know if he's missing any games, but yeah, this is a little bit of a surprise as to where he is going.
Really great pickup at this point.
As I like to call him, Mr. Starbucks, because every just before the game starts, he shows up and he has a Starbucks in his hand.
I'm going to be controversial. I think he's lost stuff over the last couple of years, but at the end of the day, his hockey skills, hockey IQ is still there.
Yeah.
And you know what? Just like me, and we can always go and treadmill and lose a couple of 10, 20, 50 pounds. So, he's it's nothing a little conditioning can't fix. But
I was looking forward to him maybe going the next couple picks to Stubborn and reuniting with Maz, where he really had great seasons with Maz just feeding him. But I guess we'll have to wait for that to happen for another time. Next at 78, we have Saleh Awesome going to the Claws.
I don't know this player.
I believe he's another T Park. Yeah, he is another T Park guy. So
Klaus knows these guys. Where are they?
I don't think so, but again, could just be a pick of hey, who's left and who can we kind of have a strategic play against, right? So knowing that he's
also Abdullah knows a lot of these guys too.
That's true, yeah. But this could be definitely a strategic pickup to kind of throw a wrench into Yakin, the T Park guys.
Well, Sakib's also on a class, so he's maybe feeding the GMs a little bit and lower in the draft because, as we talked about, the GMs probably aren't as familiar with this.
Feverishly texting as we see.
Next, we have Ahmed Mubin going at 79. A little bit of a drop since last season, but that doesn't diminish what he brings to the team in terms of athleticism and speed and just being determined out there on each play. Like he goes out there, does his job, and he gets off. And you can't ask for anything else, right?
Mobeen has his motor, like he has unlimited regards to his endurance, his motor. He can go out there and he plays hard. He forecheck hard, and if you have him on that third line, he'll forecheck really hard for you. So you know what, very good, smart defensively, and he's a goalie if you need to. If there's a backup goalie need or whatnot, he played goalie in the past, so he's a versatile player.
Mm-hmm.
Not known for scoring, but also played goalie most of his life. So let's see what happens. Right? I think definitely will be interesting for the third line of T-Park.
Yeah, but he also is plug and play. He played last season. He played forward and defense, so definitely blocks a lot of shots and definitely a great player to have. Amazing in the locker room too.
Next up is you.
Abdullah Patel saying not to sleep on his drafting skills, helping out the Ikhlas team, but maybe he should be sleeping because he's doing Umrah right now and it's the middle of the night. But potato. Yes, I go next. Imad Hussain at number 80 to Summer.
So Iman, what's your age? I'm just trying to figure out: are you bringing up or bringing down their age total?
I'll let you guess.
No, I think
you're right or wrong.
I think this is a good refreshing start for you, where you can actually be back and playing forward. Last season, you kind of got had to play back, had to play forward. You didn't necessarily know where you were playing every game, but again, I believe you're a natural center, and you do the best you can when you are playing center. So I think you'll be able to really contribute well to this team.
Thank you. Yeah, it's gonna be fun to be back with Chohan, Arif, Maz, and Farouk. Especially
your group. It looked like it would be a very cohesive group there.
It was our Rida group right before the pandemic hit. So knock on wood, it's still winter season again. Hopefully nothing happens again.
3 years later,
it's not our
we
fault.
never
It's not our fault. Next, we have. Oh wow, I lost track of where it was. I see my picture up there. I just lose track. So on the snake, Sabra takes Kashif.
Coach K. Okay, so the age just went back up with Coach K. But that being said, great hockey IQ. If his body can keep up with him, fantastic player to have. I've seen some of the just fantastic plays he makes, even like a point shot that he'll, instead of taking the shot, he'll do a slap pass. That still sticks out to me as one of the great plays that he's made before. And great pickup. Again, one of those players that falls further than he should, but plagued by injuries.
I think to be honest with you, I think he probably prefers being down in this rank where I think he doesn't have the pressure as much as when he's playing up there in higher draft. So you know what? I think it's good for him and he can help out.
Okay, Buck, you're up again. Can you tell us a little bit about Omar Varachia?
It's a good-looking guy.
82.
He's
welcome to the league, brother.
Welcome to the league.
Triplets from the family who are joining.
No, I mean, you know what? I think is it Thorncliffe? Thorncliffe?
Yeah, T Park just Yakin, but they picked him up.
Well, let's see how these guys. Let's put an asterisk behind these players because I want to see how they develop. I want to see how these guys drafted.
All right, the second Wasif brother, Essen, just got drafted by Klaas at 83.
So
Great
great,
player.
yeah, great team to be on. I don't know if he played last season. My memory fails me on that. But what I do remember of him, sorry, he did.
I think he did, yeah.
He was okay. Just a great plug and play player again. He does have the speed, the athleticism. Just needs to find a way to kind of put everything together. But with Ali Wadi, Farouk Khan, he's under some good leadership to be able to make it happen.
All right, next we have Nofal Zuberi. So he is another one who has a sibling in the league with Abdul Nafia, and he goes to Iman. So they're both going to be on the same team. I know there were right issues there, so
yeah, that
definitely helped out.
Again, another messy hair Zuberi. Guys, just a comb. Like I'll buy you a comb if you need one, but good player, good hustle. Definitely, like again, the brother combo helps. He plays forward from what I remember. Unfortunately, not significantly impactful, but again, gets the job done. Has the Zuberi speed. So just now, I think we get into the players that hopefully they can look to the GMs, and the GMs can mentor our players or these younger players to really get them to develop to be the future stars of our league. So just I'm hoping the best for Zuberi.
All right, we have Danish Khan going next to Isan, and I think he was playing for Dawood last season as well, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong.
I think he may have been on Ikhlas last, or I remember he was on some team, but a hard-nosed player, just knows to the grindstone, just runs all out.
They'll do what you ask him to do, and a third line player.
Yeah, he is a third line player. That's not a shake on him or anything. Like, he plays hard. He shows up. The commitment is there. Just needs to, again, one of those players just needs to find this first couple of goals, and he'll just start pocketing them. He's definitely a hard player, hard hustle, and just leaves it out on the court.
All right, what's the name of the guy going to Haya next?
Not again.
Not Mullet. Can't be. There's none left. Oh, yeah.
There's always another Mullet left. There's always another one.
No, there's no one left after him. I think he's done now, right?
We'll see. The other Mullet goes at 86 to Haya.
Yeah, just got to keep the family strong.
Familiarity is a good player. I mean, he's been drafted. This is a lower draft for him, but I mean, at 86, great player.
87, yeah. Oh, sorry, 86. Yeah.
Again, I don't think he cares. It's at this point, it's like, hey, I'm on the team with my family. Exactly. So
it's all gravy up to this point.
He definitely does leave it out. Great player, just all around great player.
Funny enough, these teams are shaping up interesting. It's weird.
All right. At 87, we have Hamza Waheed.
Hamza Waheed.
Going to Taqwa.
Oh, Hamza.
Speed,
tall, body. Will definitely do whatever you ask him to do.
Very coachable.
Very coachable. He is working on his hands, so I think that's the only piece he's lacking. But definitely just a great team player. So good pickup for Taqwa.
All right. At the end of the 11th round, third last round, we have, if I can just get myself organized here.
Just trying to see. They have a couple of D-men. Oh,
Luckenball.
Interesting pickup. I'm just trying to see what
it's
they have.
A little late for him, I would say. I mean, I know he's lost a little bit of a step over the last little while, but I mean, he can still shoot. He has hands. He can control the ball and everything.
Super high hockey IQ. One of the best shots in the league, I would say. Still can shoot and score from anywhere. Obviously, a great pick at this point. But you know what? I've seen him play D recently, so I don't know if they're going to have him on defense.
Imran is just. I've seen him. I've played with him in one of the last couple of seasons. He thinks a little bit too much now. I remember in a few previous seasons. When he got the ball,
he's a very high
it was just get rid of it or take that shot. Now he's double cocking, triple cocking almost, and then trying to shoot. So I think he just needs to get back to the simplicity of the game. He has the IQ, definitely. There's no doubt about that. But take it back, get a little bit simple. But I think once he starts scoring, he'll be feeling a lot more comfortable and just kind of doing what he used to do.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Right. So What do you guys think? I mean, we're almost through the draft. We have 2 more rounds to go. Any needs you see that are glaring for any of the teams, or concerns that you have that teams might try to fill in the last couple of rounds of the draft positionally?
I think any concerns teams probably had was probably picked in like the 8th, 9th, 10th, or 11th kind of pick. I think at this point, whoever picks is hopefully just going to be complimentary to their team. And, other than that, the teams, a lot of familiarity on these lines. Like, it looks like, the one team that really strikes me and as a unique team, but again, they look like they're built for purpose is Ikalas, the Ali Wadi's team. And, it's not like they picked people who they all know all the time. They picked a specific type of people. They looked for a type of player, and then they went for that. So,
all right,
very interesting.
Good call, Bucks. So the first Bucks to go in the draft is Tariq Bucks.
Damn it! That's Baksh, right? It's Baksh. It's Baksh.
Yeah.
Tariq and Baksh. But you know what?
So he plays solid defenseman, right?
He's a defenseman. He's plugged in a forward here and there, but no, he's a very reliable defenseman. Comes to the ice all the time. Very very reliable player. I think for him, it could be coming down to whether or not the team needs him on defense, or if they have him on defense or have enough D, then he can come in and play on the third line as forward. So he's very versatile, but I think he'd be a good defenseman.
Great. At 90, we have Moinuddin Sheikh going to Taqwa.
I don't have familiarity with this player, but he has played in our league. I do remember him, but I believe he's a forward, correct? Played for.
I think so. Again, it gets a little bit cloudy when we get this far in the league.
Later in
a
drafts.
lot more unknowns coming up, but I wish him the best. I could do some more scouting on him right now, but I do apologize that we just don't. We just don't have enough.
Yeah, at this point, it's going to come down to fit. Danish Elias.
Right. Danish Elias going to Haya.
Yeah, played with him last season. He prides himself in being like the Thomas Holmstrom of the league, of every team he's played with. So just tell him where to be, and he likes to be right in front of the net. So just park him there, and he'll get those quote unquote garbage goals. But definitely he works hard for them.
Sure. At 92, we have Hashim Zazala, and I gotta say, great brother. He just joined the league.
A couple seasons ago.
About a year
A
ago.
lot better since he joined.
Three, 4 seasons ago. But
Yeah. And when he joined, he's like brand new to everything, and now mashallah, he's playing so well. So excited and happy to see him develop over the last few seasons.
Yeah, definitely a great person for the One Brotherhood Award. Always encouraging and always there for the games. So good to have him on Isan. He's going to flourish again.
Yeah, he'll bring some energy, and he has a little bit of speed too. So it'll be good for them. All right, next at 93, we have Salman Azmat going to Iman.
I think he'll bring. He's a player, kind of all around player for me. Solid plays. He can pot in a couple goals. If you give him the time and space, and defensively aware, and I think he's one of those like players that will kind of gel. He's a gel player for you, and he'll kind of do what you need to do. So
gel. Are you talking about more about his hair?
Yes, his hair's amazing. He has amazing hair.
So yeah, just more about the hair than anything else. But yeah.
Great. Next, we have Talha Iftikhar going to Ikhlas at 94. So he gets to keep his jersey.
A little bit.
Of course, we have new designs this season. So
new designs. A little bit disappointed to see that the Iftikhar brothers aren't staying together, but yeah, great player, great family. Great family, man. I don't know, like this is the hockey family. This is the hockey family, man. This is like
a great family. It's a great family.
Great brother to be around. He is the ride for his brothers, I think. So that's the challenge, but great team player. So I do expect him to see some good ice time and definitely develop under Ali Wadi and Munawar.
Next, going to Yakin, we have Hamza Bhagat, a very familiar looking guy again.
Welcome to the league, brother.
Yeah, sorry, no clue about Hamza, whether he plays
they know
forward.
more than us. Let's see.
Absolutely, right? So he could be a sleeper yet again. So we'll just have to see what comes out of this. But then these are the players you have to watch out for.
All right. Next, we have Suber taking Omar Baksh, who gets to keep his jersey as well.
Omar.
Bam. It was good to be good around. It's a lot of familiar faces, so it's really good. I definitely will be out there to protect anyone who needs protection.
Hey, no penalties, okay? No penalties.
Who are you saying on this team can't handle themselves, Baksh?
Imad, no, I'm joking. No, it's actually, to be honest, it's a good group of guys. I mean, we're all gonna get along, definitely. But like, I think we'll definitely mesh well. The team will definitely be a fun team to be around.
I think we need some drug testing on that team. I don't know what Baksh is on. Is it natural or is it anything else?
It's natural. It's natural. It's called actually working out.
We're in the final round of the draft now, and Rida with their final pick takes Imran Shah.
I'm
okay, so we're going right back to the end there. Imran Shah. No clue.
So welcome to the league, Imran Shah. And inshallah, we'll get to know you a little bit better as the season goes on, and we'll grab a picture of you as well.
Everyone who looks the same, please come and take a picture.
All right. Taqwa with their last pick of the draft takes Huzaifa Iftikhar. So the final Iftikhar brother goes in the draft now.
Another speedy forward. Can definitely just plug and play. So if anybody's missing, he's just going to be able to, jump on those second line, third line, whatever he needs to do. So I wish him success on the team, and he definitely again, learn from Hamza and learn from RC, and develop your own niche, brother.
All right, and then we have the final pick for Haya is not a mullet. It's Adnan Mir.
Adnan Mir's played the league before.
I wonder if this is the Adnan that I know from T Park.
Oh, it could be something else. Damn.
Yeah.
Totally forgot. People have the same names. Totally forgot that exists. I thought I was the only Umar until I moved to Mississauga.
If this is the same Adnan, haven't seen him play hockey in some time, but definitely a lot of speed, a lot of hockey IQ. I think he's getting back into it after a while. So, it's going to be good to see him out. And Adnan, if it is you, can't wait to see you.
Great. Next we have, not far away, is Abdul Aziz Khan going in the last pick, 100 overall to Ihsan.
Good round number to go.
Looking forward to getting to know this brother.
Yeah, exactly, right? So I hope he's playing some D for them, because I think they are in lack of some depth on D, but should be good to see what he brings.
Abdulaziz Khan, he finally got drafted. Bro.
There you go. Yeah, so what do you play, Abdulaziz?
Right, Iman with the last pick at 101 takes Yusuf Shahzada. So he's Hashim Shahzada's brother. And I know they carpool and with the Zuberi brothers. So it'll be interesting with everyone on different teams, how it's all going to play out.
Hey, maybe this is yet another trade, right? So we talked about the Alvis being separate and Shahzada's now separate. So maybe there's going to be a little bit of wheeling and dealing. So, but Yusuf, again, great player, same mentality as his brother Hashim. Just good to be around, and always just talkative.
It's a young team.
Yeah.
Oman's a young team. Got Madni Daniel.
Oh,
102, Daniel at 102 to Ikhlas.
He actually has a great shot.
He does. I think he went a little bit later than I thought. It was Madni usually goes a little bit higher, but he hasn't played in what I think for a full year now.
But Madni gets the handicap because he's a bigger body. Like someone like myself, like we're of the larger garden variety. And I think the great thing about him is though he's a very good hockey player. He has a great shot, and I think if you pair him with the right line and you get someone to set him up, he can give you 2-3 goals. I mean, I've played online with him, and he's potting 2-3 points in a game, and he knows how to play. He has strong hockey IQ. Again, we just run on the treadmill, get a little leaner, and keep going.
So talking about the Biggie Garden variety, I think we know who's coming up at 103.
Yeah, we called this a couple rounds.
I request a better picture. I don't know why my hairline looks like so bad right there, but
I was gonna say that was a bad night or something, but we'll get it.
That was right after the game in summer.
Great, and then at 104, the Subbers' last pick is going to be
Leslie Wong.
What?
no,
No one can talk
guys.
about me? Nothing like that? I see.
No, we're not gonna talk about
Okay, that's fine. That's
We
fine.
talk about
No. I mean,
You're
not
still
you.
the champion.
No.
Maju, we know you had two. You won a championship. You went to the finals, I believe.
You won the
I think
championship
you
like
went three
3
finals in a
seasons
row,
ago.
right? 3 finals in a row.
Honestly, I don't even remember anymore. But
It was something crazy like that. So you won with Summer one season, and then you went to the finals after that, and I think you went to the finals again. Maybe I could be a little cloudy there. And then last season you had a good season again, but you know what? We just couldn't score as much as we needed to. So
yeah, just inshallah,
you know,
it's good.
you have that.
Super guys, it'll be good.
Welcome to the league, Zayd.
Sounds good. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay.
Who-
All right.
who's our last?
And then
Almost
at 104 we have Umar Sadat going to.
Oh man.
Is he
missing games?
No, I mean, you know what? He's one of those. Again, I'm actually. I'm going to say this. I'm looking forward to having him on my line if he's going to play on my line. I played with him last season. He's a great energy player, and you know what? That is just way better for us. That is way better for us. I'm very, very happy that that he got plugged in where he is.
Yeah.
Now I really like our team, Imad. Just got to bring the heat, Imad.
Yeah. No, I'm surprised at the last pick, but hey, good for him going to a solid team. Hassan Malik, really, you're not paying attention to the draft because, like Guy is saying, it is it is Ali Khawaja is the Suns goalie. He is the GM. So thanks for showing up. But yeah, I think that rounds out our draft.
Yeah, and right at 2 hours, so we made a good time there. And we had good viewership. Thank you guys for all of the participation there. You know, we'll try and do another show right before the season starts next Friday, just to preview, go through the lineups and talk a little bit about maybe possible line combinations and things like that. But since we've already gone 2 hours right now, I think we want to give everyone, and it's 11 p.m.
My back
We want to give everyone a little bit of a break from the podcast, and inshallah we'll connect before games start next week. So again, games start at 8 p.m. next week, which is Friday, January 6th. So looking forward to seeing everyone there, inshallah, and kicking off a great season. So big thank you, Maju and Baksh. Really appreciate your time and
thank you for having
all
us.
of the insights you've provided us with, and also to everyone on the back end. Mubin did an awesome job setting up these graphics for the player cards, so really appreciate that. We missed RF and Asawi, of course, but unfortunately they had other commitments that they had to tend to. And then, of course, the rest of the media team, a couple of our insiders who wish to not be named, and you know, to all you viewers as well.
Master.
So, see you all soon, inshallah. Thank you.
Inshallah. Take care, guys.